Rays showed their power on the mound and at the plate and in Plaid. Fans are breaking out the brooms. Rays going for the sweep on Sun Sports. As we greet you from Tropicana Field in St. Petersburg, the agenda is full today. Senior prom here at the Trop. The Rays are in their brazier wear. Broadcasters in dreamsicle shirts. And the Rays are going for the sweep over the Texas Rangers. And with all that, the Rays and the Yankees are tied for the top spot in the American League East. The Yankees 73-46, the Rays 73-46. Hi again, everyone, and welcome to an afternoon of Rays baseball. Just trying to make your day a little brighter. With Kevin Kennedy, I'm Dwayne Stats. Great to have you with us. We'll be hearing from Todd Callis and Brian Anderson throughout the day as well. Well, the Rays have scored some runs here in this series, 16 runs in the last two games. A little over a week ago, Joe Madden made a change in the lineup. Carl Crawford, number 3, Evan Longoria, number 4. Good things have happened.
You know, if you can't stay loose around Joe Madden with his ball club in a pennant race, something's wrong. Well, Carl Crawford has stayed loose, that's for sure. Actually, I mean, he is really swinging the bat in this series, especially 4 for 9, a triple, a home run, 4 RBIs, 3 runs scored. And you know what? He's in that 3 spot, and Evan Longoria's in that 4 spot. And they've done the job in this particular homestand, as the Rays do look for a nice 5-1 homestand before they go west. Here's Evan Longoria, and Brian Anderson said it earlier. He's right. I mean, it's good to see Evan really have some good swings the last couple of days. 4 for 8, a double, a triple, 4 runs driven in, 2 runs scored overall, playing outstanding defense as usual. And I thought that big triple he hit yesterday to get him going right there in the first inning, back-to-back to Carl Crawford was huge to get Matt Garza a nice cushion early in the game. And hopefully the Rays look for more of that this afternoon.
Yeah, the next order of business is to get James Shields right. 3 starts ago, very good against the New York Yankee lineup. Struggled the last couple of times out, and so that is something the Rays want to see today.
Yeah, no doubt. And again, I thought Brian made a great point about pitching inside. You can't live in there. If you're gonna go in there, stand somebody up so you can live away, because at 91-92, that's really where James Shields should be. Down and away, but go inside effectively. You can't live middle in. You're going to get killed. And I think go to his secondary pitches earlier. Last 2 starts, you see the numbers. 12 ERA overall, 9 innings pitched is all, 442 opponent's batting average against. I think go to your strengths, pitch to the hitter's weaknesses, and his strength is getting to that off-speed stuff when he has a chance to do it.
Rays broke out the Braziers last night, modeled by the bullpen as they made their grand entrance. This afternoon, the Rays go for the sweep, trying to finish off the homestand 5-1. A lot of things going on today. No guarantees if we'll stay till the finish. Back in a moment.
Wrapping up a 6-game homestand, trying to sweep the Texas Rangers before heading out to the West Coast as they will continue this stretch of 10 games against the AL West. We talked in the pregame show about how the Rangers are counting a lot on Vlad. Well, the Rays are counting a lot on Platt, at least after the game, as they're going to be heading out to the West Coast in their new Rays Braziers. Joe Madden, in our Geico quote of the game, talks about his thoughts seeing the new look.
Actually, if you pan over here for 1 second, you can see Andy Freed working it right now, as they say, working it. It's honestly better than anticipated. We had arrived at a different print early on in the process. We found out there was not enough material, so we called an audible, blue, yellow, 17, and then we made that. And then all of a sudden, she comes back with this different fabric. I liked it even better because it really includes our colors. The guys are walking around with their Brazers everywhere right now. I anticipate Brazier Mania once it really gets out there. And you'll see it in the team stores. You'll be able to order it online, et cetera, et cetera. So I'm really pleased with the Brazier, and we could not have done it without Todd's help. Believe me, that's true.
Thank you, Joe. Hey, look at Dwayne. Now, that is a combination. The Brazier and the orange Tommy Bahama. I love it. You can log on to FoxSportsFlorida.com and ask whatever you like of Dwayne Stats and Kevin Kennedy in our Ask the Announcer segment throughout the course of today's game. The guys are ready. We are ready. Less than 3 minutes until the first pitch. The Rays and the Rangers coming up in high definition. James Shields will be on the mound for the Rays. He'll be opposed by the lefty, Derek Holland. Enjoy all the action next, right here on Subsport.
D by H.H. Gregg.
Isn't that awesome?
Today at Tropicana Field, we are breaking all the rules. And we'll take a look at the Texas Rangers starting lineup. Julio Bourbon's going to lead it off, followed by Andres Blanco, and Josh Hamilton will again DH, hitting in front of the right fielder Vladimir Guerrero. David Murphy, Jorge Cantu, Mitch Moreland, Taylor Teagarden, the catcher, and Joaquin Arias rounding out the Texas lineup.
Talked plenty about James Shields on the pregame show and in the open. Overall, let's take a look at the numbers. 10 and 11 with a 4.98 earned run average. Does have 151 2/3 innings pitched. Doesn't walk many, only 39 walks, 137 strikeouts, but it's been too many hittable pitches over the heart of the zone. Therefore, you've got that 286 batting average against, and he's given up 28 home runs and 177 hits.
So we're all set to play baseball, and here's Bourbon, the center fielder, leading off. First pitch from Shields is a fastball, and that's in there for a strike. Rays and the Rangers wrapping up their regular season series with this game. Always the possibility that they can meet again in the postseason. We'll see how that plays out as the Rays start the day. They have 43 games left on the schedule, and 26 of those against teams at or over 500. This one is popped up. It's a foul ball right side. Zobrist near the dugout makes the catch. One away.
Take a look at the Rays defensively. Around the outfield, Carl Crawford at left, B.J. Upton at center, and Sean Rodriguez in right field. Around the infield, left to right, Evan Longoria, Jason Bartlett, Reed Grignac at second base today, and Ben Zobrist at first. Kelly Shopik behind the plate for James Shields.
Well, Andres Blanco's making the start at shortstop today. Elvis Andrus not in the lineup, getting a day off. And Michael Young with that neck situation, a stiff neck, is day to day, and they're saying really hour to hour, but he's not in the lineup either. Foul ball out of play. Ron Washington along with Jackie Moore. Andrus, the young shortstop, one of the best shortstops already in the American League. High fly ball to left. Crawford makes the catch, and Blanco is out of there. 2 gone. Shields coming off the 5-inning outing he had against Baltimore. And the Rays dropped a 5-0 decision. James gave up 4 runs, 10 hits, in 5 innings against the Orioles. Walked 3 and struck out 2. That on the heels of the outing in Toronto, in which he was tagged for the 6 home runs. There's a strike to Hamilton.
And a good pitch outside corner at the knees. You can live out there off Josh, although he does like to go the other way too.
There's a change up here in the first inning.
That's the right guy to throw your secondary pitches to.
A 2-strike count. This one away. Back-to-back change-ups. Well, the fact of the matter is it was a combination of change-ups and curveballs with the well-placed fastballs that helped him pitch that game against New York on the 1st of August when he was so effective against the Yankees, pitching 7 1/3 shutout innings of 4-hit baseball. And he had 11 strikeouts in that game, and a lot of those came on off-speed pitches, change-ups primarily.
And it made his fastball that much better.
2 balls, 2 strikes.
He did throw 3 change-ups in a row. He tried to go up above Hamilton's hands, and you saw he missed up and away, but that was the right thought process.
And the pitch is down, off-speed. 3-2.
James gave up a home run earlier in the year to Hamilton in Texas. It was a first pitch cutter. So far in this sequence, no cutters.
And a fly ball into left field. Crawford's there, and he makes the catch. Got him on the fastball on the fly ball to left, and it's 1-2-3. Bottom of the first coming. No score. lineup today with B.J. Upton in the top spot, followed by Jason Bartlett. He's been hot over the last half dozen games. Carl Crawford, number 3, and Evan Longoria 4. Carlos Pena, the DH. Kelly Shopping hit 6. Vince Oberstenberg 7th, followed by Sean Rodriguez and then Reed Brignac.
Derek Holland just recalled from AAA in replacement of Rich Harden. Lefty on the mound. The Rays have seen him a couple of times.
And BJ comes out swinging at the first pitch fastball, fouling it away. Well, the numbers on Holland.
Early in the year, May the 30th was his last big league appearance.
And BJ goes down. That pitch around his feet.
Made him dance right there. That's a good look right there by BJ. Like, what was that?
And the pitch is down and in. 2 balls and a strike. Well, Upton took a pitch close last night.
Out for Darren O'Day.
Fouls it. It's 2-2.
Well, there was a little bit of back and forth last night. After the Rays really opened up the game, Evan Longoria was knocked down. And, that young pitcher, Stroop, is now down in the minor leagues.
And a strike is called. Upton caught looking. 1 away, and the Rays first.
Too close to take right there. Off the inside corner a little bit, but too close. BJ takes a third. Defense for the Rangers today. David Murphy in left. Julio Bobon in center. Vladdy Guerrero in right around the infield. Cantu, Blanco, Arias, and Moreland right behind the plate. Taylor Teagarden this afternoon.
There's Jason Bartlett. And he looks at a strike. Bartlett had 2 hits, a run batted in, and 2 runs scored. Actually 3 hits last night. He was 3 for 5 with the 2 runs scored. 1-1, and his average is up to 250. And he's showing signs of giving the Rays exactly what they need here in the closing month and a half of the season. And a lot of his hits have been the other way.
Yeah, you're right about that. It's at 294 since the All-Star break.
That could mean a lot to this offense. Jason hit 320 last year. Puts it into center field. And that's going to be caught by Bourbon. Bourbon got kind of a late start on that ball, but he has some speed and he got there.
Yeah, had a lot of hang time, too, on that pop-up. He hasn't gotten great reads out there in this series, Bourbon.
Now the Rangers have shown some signs of what you'd think would be concerns about their defensive play. There's Carl Crawford, and it's upstairs. 1 ball, no strikes. I mean, this Texas club is a very, very good team. But Ron Washington was not happy here in the first game of this series with his defense. 1-1. And there were a handful of occasions last night that did not make him all that happy as well.
Yeah, there's some balls that have gotten past third base. A couple of fly balls have been misplayed.
Crawford with a base hit over Cantu's head into left. Carl continues his hot hitting. He's always been more comfortable number 2, but since the drop into the 3rd spot, boy, he has really gotten hot.
Yeah, he really has. He tried to go in on Carl. The ball stayed up and over the plate. He just fights it off and drops a single in the left field. Middle in.
Carl now with a 9-game hitting streak in the 3rd spot. Here's Evan Longoria. A ball, no strikes. Evan had a good night last night. 1-1. Evan and Crawford had the back-to-back triples in the first inning. He also doubled and singled. Over to first. Crawford's back in.
There, Colin is known to have a pretty good pickoff move. That was just a show-me move there. He's got a better one than that.
And a shot back into deep left center field. Well tagged. It one-hops the wall. Crawford hitting third and on his way to the plate. It's a double for Longoria. And the Rays lead 1-0. 2 bases for Longoria, driving in his 77th run.
Well, Evans really getting some extension now, getting through some balls here in this series. Both Crawford and Longoria we featured in the open. It's a high fastball, and he jumped all over it. Puts it to the deepest part of the ballpark. And Crawford is going to score in anything Evan hits in the gap, no doubt about it. Scores easily standing up.
So the Rays break out in front. Back-to-back hits with 2 outs. Longoria is on second, and in steps Carlos Pena.
Yeah, I think you're right. I think Carl and Evan are kind of getting used to this 3-4 spot now.
I'll tell you, it's been great for about a week and a half now. 1 ball, no strikes.
I like what Joe Madden's doing here against lefties versus righties, because BJ and Bartlett are making a nice 1-2 against lefties at the top of the order.
Fastball is a strike.
And then you've got your on-base guys against the righties, Jaso and Ben Zobrist 1-2 against right-handers. So it's one of those things, if it works, don't fix it. Kind of stay with that pattern right now. You got Carlos back in the 5 spot. Nice presence behind Evan Longoria.
And that's one thing that was really missing. As much as Joe Madden tried to mix and match various hitters behind Longoria, he just was not getting the kind of protection that you would love to see him get.
Well, he wasn't getting pitches like we've seen the last couple of days. There's no question there's a difference with Carlos behind him. No doubt about it.
2 balls, 2 strikes. Carlos came off the disabled list and delivered a big base hit in the 8th inning Monday night. It gave the Rays the lead and the eventual 6-4 win. And he doubled in a run his first time up last night. Full count. Fastball from Holland misses. 23-year-old lefty, just up from Oklahoma City. And a ground ball right side, scooped by Moreland. And Holland covers, finds the bag, and that retires the side. But the Rays put up a run. The combination of Carl Crawford, whose base hit extended his hitting streak to 9, and Evan Longoria doubled at home, 1-0 Tampa Bay. having the senior citizens senior prom. As we look at our Toyota trend, the Rays have won 18 of their last 23 home games, and that's a dramatic turnaround for the Rays at home. They've been so good here through the last few years. Guerrero takes a pitch down, but they got off to that great start on the road this year and actually had a little struggle at home, but not lately. And in fact, right now the Rays at home are 38-24, and they're 35-22 on the road. Both very good figures. The liner into center, Upton cutting back and makes a nice catch. One away here in the second inning. Let's check in with Todd Callis.
Well, Dwayne, you know it's a website Wednesday, which means fans can ask the announcer a question. We are going to have a compilation from the last few weeks about one big topic people have been wondering your opinions. They want to know, with the new technology that's available, do you guys think it's a good idea to expand replay in the game? If you want to ask a question of Dwayne or Kevin, log on to foxsportsflorida.com and click on the Rays link. Guys?
All right, that's a great topic, and one that will be hotly contested, I would imagine. First pitch to David Murphy is a strike. And, baseball traditionally has been slow to change in almost every area that you can think of. And I'm not a big replay proponent, although, you could tolerate, and as they now check home run calls, I think that's good, and it has not interrupted play. There's a wave and a miss at that fastball up.
Curveball helped set that pitch up. He threw a nice curveball. It had good depth, and he goes right up the ladder. A 92 fastball. He gets Murphy to chase.
Kevin, you got an interesting take. I know we talked before the game about replay and how you'd like to see it work out.
Yeah, I know that there was this feature recently about a 2-week span of the umpires that was done over a span of about 184 games, that the umpires apparently on close calls miss 20%.
Ground ball to short by Cantu. Bartlett takes care of that. It's a 1-2-3 inning. We'll continue this conversation on potential replay when we return. 1-0 Rays. It's our pleasure. Scott, the Money Superstore, and by Checkers, Little Place, Big Taste. Back at Tropicana Field this afternoon. Wrap-up game of the series and the homestand. Rays with a run in the first inning, and they'll send Kelly Shopik up here to start the bottom of the second. Shopik, Zobrist, and then Rodriguez facing Derek Holland in this game. The pitch is a strike. Well, Kevin, replays. What's your take on that?
Well, I was an old school guy and still am in most respects, but it's gotten so bad and with the technology we have now, and really what happened in the postseason last year and the dramatic misses. I'm for the managers having one challenge, and I never thought as a former manager I'd say I'm going to put a flag in my back pocket and throw it, but I don't want to see it come into the infield, really. I like the boundary calls now with replay, but it's come to the point now where I think you have to use the technology. The NBA has gone to it the last 2 minutes. It's made a difference. Of course, they're on a clock, and it's really tough to tell if a guy gets a shot off or not or whatever, but it's worked in the NFL. I think with baseball, with the scrutiny we have and the camera work we have today, I think we have to bring it into the infield. And with that being said, Dwayne, you got one challenge. If you think that stolen base in the second inning and the umpire missed it is worth the challenge, and you want to use your challenge, then so be it. But you better pick your spots right.
Yeah.
And what's the penalty? There is no penalty. The penalty is get the play right. That's the bottom line.
Yeah.
And so I'm for that now.
2-2, and Shopik misses the fastball. He's out on strikes. That's an interesting concept, and the boundary. We had one here the other night on the ball that Molina hit. Took them, I think, a little over 90 seconds to take a look at that and get back to play, which, if you can get it down to that, then you're not talking about lengthy delays here.
Of that survey we were talking about in the last half inning, 20% of the close calls apparently have been blown, but the average of close calls a game is 1.3. So really, how many times are you looking at a challenge? The one we saw last night, Ron Washington went out there. We haven't seen many all season long.
There's the strike. So I could see the boundaries. I think we've gotten used to that, and it's worked out because the bottom idea is to get a play right, and that's the credo that umpires try to live by. The bottom line is to make sure you get the correct call made, and I think the replay and boundary issues is a step forward. And I think the interesting concept is have a flag, drop the flag, and you get one.
That's it.
That's it. 2 balls and 2 strikes, and as you point out, statistically speaking, that ought to be enough to make sure that all the calls are as correct as they can be.
Well, it's not really going to take the human element out. I know, and I'm one of those guys, too, that loves the human element. But
sharply hit ground ball, grabbed by Arias, and the throw to first in time. So that's the second out as Zobrist is retired. 2 up, 2 down. In the game today and all season long, for that matter, Tires Plus donates $100 to the Pediatric Cancer Foundation for every Rays home run televised on Sun Sports and Fox Sports Florida.
I'll make a point here as Sean Rodriguez comes up to the plate that I would never before replay on balls and strikes. That would be ridiculous. I'm not for that. But balls over the bags, Bob Davidson played with the Marlins, cost them a game. It could cost you at the end of the season if you win a pennant or lose a pennant by a game or miss going to the playoffs by a game. And ask Ernie Banks and Billy Williams and guys like that for the Cubs that never went to a World Series, which not many Cubs have.
Yeah, that's right. Well, here's the other part. Under your plan, Armando Galarraga would have a perfect game.
Absolutely. No doubt.
So that makes sense. You should have some recourse in those situations. Here's a guy who threw a perfect game, and because of a human error, and again, we're all human, we all make errors, and Joyce felt terrible about that.
Yeah.
But if you had the opportunity, Jimmy Leland drops that flag, you take a look, and
you get the call right.
Game is intact.
And he's in the record book. That's exactly right. He knows in his mind he did, but he's not in the record book. He's not in the Hall of Fame with that. He should be. Galarraga deserves it.
Oh, strike 3 call, a fastball, and Rodriguez is out looking. 1, 2, 3 go the Rays. We're through 2. It's 1-0 Tampa Bay. Rich Moreland will lead off for the Texas Rangers. Then Taylor Teagard, the catcher, and Joaquin Arias, the number 9 hitter, against James Shields. Shields with a strikeout through the first 2 frames. It's a foul ball off Kelly Shoppick. Jerry Meals calling the balls and strikes here this afternoon. One and one. Moreland started last night's game and went 0 for 3. Was hit by a pitch, a little tap to the right side. Brainiac from second takes care of it. Changeup had him out in front. 1 away. You can act right now to secure your opportunity to purchase postseason ticket packages by making your 2011 season ticket reservations. Call 888-FAN-RAYS or visit RaysBaseball.com right now. Rays wrapping up the homestand and heading west. Take on the Oakland A's and the Angels. There's Teagarden. It's outside. Two 2-0, a fastball down.
Teagarden's got some pop. He likes that fastball right here. He likes those ones right over the heart of the plate. Drive the ball to left center, dead center.
He shoots this one into left center field. A couple of hops cut off by Crawford. They're going to hold him to a base hit. Nice play by Crawford as Teagarden stopped at first base. That was a fastball well hit.
Yeah, he likes that. He likes the first pitch fastball over the plate, or when he gets in a hitter's count just like that. He's only hitting 130, but he got one right down the middle to hit, and he usually doesn't miss it. He's a guy you can actually throw your changeup 2-0 and he'll chase it.
You know, he's 6 out of 16 now against the Rays pitching staff.
I noticed that last time we saw him.
Time he's spent in the big leagues.
Yeah.
He's been up and down between the minor leagues and Texas.
I do my own scouting reports.
Areas. There's a strike.
And you try not to forget that as a catcher, what guys have done. And every time I've seen him hit against the Rays, he's hitting a nice fastball, either first pitch or in a hitter's count. Those are the kinds of guys that hurt you because they turn the lineup over.
Pitch is low. 1-1 to Arias.
The reason he's hitting 130 is not because he can't hit a fastball, it's because he can't hit the other stuff, the secondary pitches. Sometimes you look at the batting average, you go, oh, I could just get one by him. Nope.
Ball, 2 strikes. Arias just off the disabled list. He had a back issue. Activated when the Texas club came to town on Monday. Fly ball into left. Crawford's right there for it. Off speed pitch that had him out front a little bit.
Yeah, it did. That was a good pitch. I noticed the other night when he hit that triple, he hit a slider down. It was a good pitch, and that pitch was down, and he didn't miss it by much. So he's a guy that you kind of book. You go, all right, he's a good low ball hitter. See him use the back leg. That thing was on the. See that dirt on his knee? And he goes down and really gets through that. So that tells you right there he knows how to use his legs, and he's a low ball hitter. He's a guy when you get the count, you want to pitch him up. Pound him in.
Bourbon. He's jumping on the first pitch. Hits a fly ball deep to right, and that ball is shot, Rodriguez. Rodriguez leaping against the fence out there in right field. Tracked it, stayed with it, and made a leaping catch to retire the side. And there's another one of those outstanding defensive plays by the Rays.
That's one. That's the
3
first
to
one.
5 every game. 1-0 Tampa Bay. Stamp it with a star. Out there in right field on the Amscott replay. Turns in an outstanding defensive performance.
Well, he sure did. Looked like the ball might be gone at first. Sean never gave up on it. You see him look at the wall to see how many strides he is to the wall, and then tracks the ball back up and picks it off against the wall.
Well, Sean has played all over the place, as you know, this year, making his 3rd start in right field, and right away makes that great catch. Here's Brignac. 1-1 to count to Reed.
It's interesting because with the lineup today with Carlos Pena DHing, Ben Zobrist could have been in right, and Sean has played a little bit of first recently.
Brignac lofting one into left center, going to hang up for Bourbon. That'll be the first out. Well, you're right. He's made a couple starts over at first, and this is his 3rd start in right field. He started in left. Started a game at shortstop. In fact, he started in all 3 outfield positions. He made 4 starts in center and has spent most of his time at second base. And the Rays have gotten great second base play this year out of Rodriguez, Brignac, and Zobrist.
I just thought the choice was interesting because Ben has played an excellent first base. And Rodriguez, when we've seen him in the outfield, has been very good. So that's why I think Joe Madden went that route.
DJ up the right side, foul. It's a 1-1 count.
But then you go, well, Ben Zobrist is a super right fielder too, so it's a good problem to have.
Sure is. And Ben, very good right fielder, and he came up as an infielder, so he's good over there at first base. The Rays have great depth because of their versatility, and their athleticism lends itself to that. 2-1. 3 balls and a strike.
Change up right there.
That's something that Holland, when he first came up, he hasn't been up that much, but for the longest, the word on him is that changeup was a very good pitch. This is foul up the right side, going to wind up out of play, and the count is full. The fastball, a curveball, and a changeup, and he'll get that slider into play at times.
Yeah, he's got it's 82, 83 with the changeup, and his fastball's in the 92, 93 range. So that's a good differential as far as speed, 10 miles an hour difference.
And Upton takes this one for ball 4. He's aboard with one out. Bring the family out for Family Fun Day, presented by the St. Petersburg Times. Coming up Sunday the 29th, the Rays take on the Red Sox here in the first 10,000 youngsters 14 and under will receive a Raymond pool tube presented by GTE Federal Credit Union. Visit RaysBaseball.com for tickets. Now Jason Bartlett with Upton aboard. And a move over there. This could be interesting here with Holland on the mound. And Upton, who is 5th in the league in steals.
Yeah, you're right, because this is a good combination to run and hit and run, straight steal.
Jason takes it high. No ball, no strikes.
3 different things you can do with this combination of Upton at first and Bartlett at the plate. And there's a nice hole over there. If they go quick to the plate like Holland just did, and they try to pitch away to give Teagarden a pitch to throw on, Bartlett can shoot a ball to right field right here.
Holland goes to first. Upton back with no problem there.
You might want to wait till the count gets a little deeper before you steal. See if Holland will make a mistake to Jason.
And he's up again with a pitch. 2-0.
Trying to pound him in to keep away from hitting that hole on the right side. But now Jason's in a nice hitter's count. 2-0.
Upton with a little lean over there, and the pitch is inside. 3 balls, no strikes. Holland has quickened it a little bit here and has missed on 3 pitches.
It's a great count to go on right here.
He goes, and boy, what a jump. He steals it standing up.
That's a great count to go on. Zobrist will do that. 3-0. I saw Joe Madden smiling too, as I know that he expected DJ to go. The reason it's a great count because the pitchers don't think you're throwing over there 3-0. They got to worry about throwing a strike. And he had a big leg kick right there.
Upton takes a lead off second, and the pitch swung on and a high fly ball back to left. Murphy in possession to make the catch, and Upton hangs on there at second base. Well, Upton swipes second, and we talked last night about how good he's been about stealing third. I think he immediately started to think about that.
He did. He did, and Jason got underneath one right there. Really need a home run ball there. You got the count to do it, but a nice base hit, pick away and get those runs in from second base.
Now Crawford, the fastball misses. 1 ball, no strikes. Carl scored the run for the Rays in the first inning. One and one to count.
It's a slider right there. 81 miles an hour.
Fouled away.
Came right back this time with a fastball. Pretty much right down the middle. Good swing by Carl. He let it get deep on him.
And he's outreaching that time. The pitch just ran right away from him. Sliding out there. We're through 3, and it's 1-0 Rays. go to the fourth inning with the Rays leading. And our AT&T Mobility Trivia question today: how many outfielders have won 7 or more Silver Slugger awards? Well, not many. And one of them is here today. James Shields set to go to work in the fourth inning. Shields has made 31 pitches through the front 3 as he faces the shortstop, Andres Blanco. And a bunt roll to third. Longoria gloves and throws, and that is out number 1. Blanco trying to bunt his way on.
That was a great play by Evan Longoria. He does this as well as anybody. Quick transfer to the bare hand, all in one motion. And just take a look at Brignac. Did he? Yeah, I guess he did. That was, or excuse me, Zobrist. Ball handcuffed him a little bit. It was a bullet over there. Not sure if that left foot was on there when he got the ball.
Well, Ron Washington doesn't have a flag to drop, so he goes out and has a little conversation, and that's it.
I'd be arguing too. Yep. Take one more time. Let's take a look. A little close.
I don't know. He might have had it.
It was very close. Yep. Well, that's one of those ones too. If you did have a flag, it might be inconclusive and the play would stand. That's the other alternative.
Well, you'd have to pick, as you mentioned,
your spots.
You get one of them.
Is that a difference maker in a game or not?
Josh Hamilton fouls a fastball away.
I think Evan had so much on that Ben couldn't really stretch, so he had to cup it right up against his belt.
Out in front of a changeup right there. 1 ball and 2 strikes. Still a ball, 2 strikes, another change. Still another changeup to strike out Hamilton.
Beautiful changeup here. He missed up with the last one. This one was beauty. Down.
2 gone. Guerrero's going to be the hitter. You want to check in with Todd Callis here for just a moment. Todd?
Another question on Ask the Announcers website Wednesday. We had dueling bullpen sessions today, guys. Wade Davis and Jeff Neiman. Great reports on both those guys as Vladdy Guerrero signals in the hole into right field. So the question comes from Antonio and other viewers: what happens to the rotation with Davis and Neiman coming back? There's a lot of people watching who would like to see the young kid out of Iowa stick around. Guys, your thoughts on the rotation now?
Yeah, well, Sonnenstein's going to open the road trip Thursday, and Hellickson will pitch Friday. And the general thinking right now is that when Neiman and Davis are ready to come back, and all signs appear to be pointing in that direction now, they're going to be in the rotation. I did ask, here's David Murphy taking a pitch down. Hellickson has pitched so well, and Andy Sonnenstein pitched well. Those 2 guys are really giving the Rays a big lift. And the Rays are in a situation where they don't want to overextend Hellickson, or really any of their young pitchers, David Price included. And so they have to think long term for the future, but they're also trying to win this year. And so how do you balance that is the question. And I asked Joe Madden about the possibility of a 6-man rotation. And it's not a topic that had not been discussed. They talked about it. Not completely off the table, not likely to happen right now. In fact, Shields in his last outing, he wasn't very happy that he had extra time between starts. And some pitchers just do not like that idea at all. But it'll be interesting to see what happens.
That's what they do in Japan. They have a 6-man rotation.
Yep.
And with young pitchers, it's it's not a bad thought. It would be up for discussion. I would believe that, no doubt. I agree, though. I think it's unlikely. Most starters, once they get in the flow, they don't want that many days off. That's quite a bit of time off without facing competition.
The Tampa, well, what they've done, I mean, we talked last night about managers thinking 2, 3, 4 steps ahead in the game. They do the same thing in a series and in a season, really. And the Rays have looked at the rest of the schedule they have with the idea that they'll get Neiman and Davis back, and they've mapped out what they think the rotation will be and how they match up against different teams. So right now, it appears that they plan to use the regular rotation, in which case, and by the time they get back, it'll almost be time to expand the rosters anyway by 4 or 5 days left in the month.
Yeah, September 1st call-ups, you can expand your roster to 40 if you want. They won't do that, of course, but that would obviously keep room for Hellickson.
And the 3-2 pitch is high. So Guerrero moves to second and Murphy walks. So it appears that that bullpen might be a little crowded.
Well, I think what happens, Andy will probably, because he's been doing it all season, would probably go back to the bullpen and be your long man. And is he shooting something?
He's launching something.
And then the question really, what happens to Jeremy Hellickson, because he has not been in the bullpen. Andy has, so I think that's probably a given.
First pitch fastball is a strike to Cantu.
What do you do with that window of 6 or 7 days there between August the 24th or 5th and September 1st?
Well, it's possible that they could send Hellickson out just to get work and then bring him right back.
That's right.
And then have him available to start or in the bullpen.
And that there's certain levels you don't have to option him to AAA where he could go down to a lower level and then come right back before the 10 days are up if you did it prior to August 24th. So there's a lot of ways that Andrew Friedman can work that.
Swing and a miss. Cantu chased the changeup. 2 men left, 2 strikeouts in the inning. We're headed into the bottom of the 4th, and the Rays hold a 1-0 lead. And by Geico, 15 minutes could save you 15% on car insurance. Visit us at geico.com or call 1-800-947-AUTO. Rays coming in to head in the home half of the 4th inning with Evan Longoria leading off against the young left-hander Derek Holland. Pitch is too high. A ball, no strikes. Longoria with a double his first time up, his 38th of the season. That ties him for second in the American League with Joe Mauer. Nick Markakis of the Orioles has 39. Three and one. Holland made a pair of starts against the Rays last year. Both were over in Texas, and that's a foul ball off Longoria's foot. And he beat the Rays a couple times. They got a lot of support. Texas scored 15 runs in those 2 games. One of those games was against James Shields. It was late in September last year. See another 3-2 pitch.
Well, Holland had also thrown the ball very well in AAA. He was 6-2 in 10 starts down there with a 1.91 earned run average.
3-2, and it's hit deep to left, right down the line, and gone. Evan Longoria hits his 6th home run of the year, and the Rays lead 2-0. Longoria has now reached 7 of his last 8 plate appearances. He has a double and a home run today.
Ball is just jumping off his bat. That is a quick swing. They try to go inside 3-2. That's not good thinking right there. Look how far they're setting up inside, and he missed location middle in. And that's the problem with pitching in a hitter's count. You can't afford to throw a ball in there, so you got to hit some of the plate. You're coming right into Evan's strength. Quick bat.
Pena takes a curveball away. 1 ball, no strikes.
And I'll tell you one thing, Dwayne, he hasn't seen many balls in him. He's getting everything away from all the veteran pitchers for that very reason. That is not a smart pitch. But credit to Evan for taking advantage of it.
2-0. Well, Longoria last night had a triple. Then he hit into a fielder's choice, then a double, a single, and a walk. Now a double and a home run today. He drove in a run with a base hit his last time up on Monday.
I'm telling you, those good hitters, you think you're going to trick them? I'm looking for something off speed. Those good hitters are looking for number 1.
Foul ball. It's 2-1 now. That ball got out of here in a hurry, right down the line.
He hit it so hard and so quick, it didn't have a chance to go foul.
Yeah, he hit the foul out of it.
Yeah. He sure did.
2-2. It's Evans' first home run of the month. Good time to start to get as hot as he is now. Full count on Pena. He hit a home run on the 28th of July off Ryan Perry of the Tigers here, and connects off Holland in the 4th inning of this game. And Pena's called out on strikes. Took what he thought was a pitch a little close, but it caught the corner, says Jerry Meals.
Yeah, it was close. It was just too close to take with 2 strikes on it. Yeah, it's right there. It's a good pitch. Everything was outside, 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 and he missed location and got a break there. He was trying to go outside again, and he missed middle in.
Here's Kelly shopping. Takes a strike. Curveball to start him. 0-2.
See, now, the 0-2 you can go in there. You went in there 0-1, got a strike out of it. You can go in there 0-2, but 3-1, 2-0, even 3-2 on a guy like Evan, it's not good thinking.
1 ball, 2 strikes.
And the reason is there's no margin for error. When you're up 1-2, 0-2, you got margin for error, so you can miss in. You can do what Brian Anderson said. You can stand somebody up, and that'll help you get the outside corner later on.
A foul ball. Still 1-2. You know, just an observation, but you don't see that a lot. You don't see that a lot out of the Rays, and frankly, you don't see that a lot in the game overall now.
I really haven't. That's something that hearing Brian and talking in the pregame show, he's absolutely right. Not enough guys do that today, period, not just the Rays.
2 balls, 2 strikes.
See, that was a good 1-2 pitch. He didn't miss by much. But as you get the count, as it turns the other way toward the hitter, you got less and less margin to go in there. Unless you're Cliff Lee.
And Shopik is out on strikes. Fastball strikes him out. And we'll get the answer to our AT&T Mobility Trivia question now. How many outfielders have won 7 or more Silver Slugger awards? The answer is 5. Vladimir Guerrero in that group with 7. Barry Bonds 12, Manny with 9, Quinn, Griffey, and Guerrero with 7. Speed pitch. Zobrist takes it high. Speaking of that, Manny Ramirez, you know, there's talk that wondering if he'll be leaving the Dodgers if he's on the market again. There was a lot of discussion about him coming up to the trading deadline, and as the end of August comes, there's more discussion about perhaps that Manny might be on the move.
Well, I don't have any doubt they would like to move him. You know, he's been hurt, I think, 3 different times. He's been on the DL, and the Dodgers are pretty much done. They come in 11 games out. They'd have to play almost 900 balls to jump 3 teams and catch San Diego.
Zobrist takes a pitch low.
Or even the wild card for that matter. I just don't see that happening.
3-1 to count. Well, he could. I would be surprised if he's not on the move.
Me too.
Zobrist draws the walk. The second walk given up by Holland. Sean Rodriguez. Rodriguez caught looking on a fastball in the second. Zobrist back in at first. Rays with a run in the first. Longoria's double drove in Crawford. A run here in the fourth, and Longoria's leadoff home run. Rodriguez lines one into center field. That's a base hit. Zobrist on his way to third. The throw is going to go to third, and into second base goes Rodriguez. Bourbon threw a rainbow to third, and Zobrist was in there really without much of a play at all, and Rodriguez alertly moves into scoring position.
I'll tell you what, that's a nice job of hitting. Again, they try to go in, but you know, Sean gets inside it, and he missed more over the heart of the plate than he did in. It's a nice piece of hit, and why Bourbon is throwing a balloon to third, I don't really get that, because it allows Sean to get into second base in scoring position. I guarantee you, after this series, Ron Washington's going to have this club out with some defensive drills when he gets back home. He is not pleased. And Ronnie was a guy that Eric Chavez credited for helping him get a Gold Glove, and he actually gave Ron one of his Gold Gloves.
Now here's Brignac. He chops it foul. Reed facing the left-hander here with a couple of men in scoring position. And Brignac came into this game. One of the reasons he's in the lineup, big reason, is that he came in hitting .281 off left-handed pitching. And over 300 with men in scoring position. So his history puts him in a good spot right here with men at second and third. Blanco to the bag, and back in goes Sean Rodriguez.
Well, you would expect him to do the same thing he did to Carl Crawford. You expect him to throw that slider that fades away off the outside corner.
One and one.
Teagarden likes to call a lot of fastballs in, but I think when they get the count, they'll eventually go to that slider. Whereas teams do like to pound Reed up because he has that uppercut. Like to go fastball out.
He fouls the fastball away. Now it's 1-2, and we'll see what they do here with Reed down in the count.
There's two ways they can go. They can go higher with the four-seam fastball and try to get a chase, because that's the book on Reed, or they can go sweeping slider.
And he fouls it off. Fastball stayed alive on it.
He actually, I think he threw a sinker there. That's a dangerous pitch to reach Brignac. He can hit that low ball. He likes that.
Second and third, 1-2 the count. He went away with slider. 2-2. Brignac read that pitch.
Yeah, he did.
And again, a break to second by the shortstop Blanco, but nothing doing.
Well, that actually distracted Holland. That's not even a good play, really. Holland lost his concentration. He's trying to make a last pitch to get out of this inning.
Fastball away. 3-2. And away with a miss. Brignac out on strikes on the fastball. The Rays leave a couple. They get the one run on the leadoff home run by Longoria. Through 4, 2-0 Tampa Bay. Who's your favorite TV personality in plaid? Ted Baxter, Herb Tarlick, Mike Brady, or our own Todd Callis? Text your vote to 789-789. This is not rigged by any stretch.
I'd make a deal with that guy on the right.
Yeah, absolutely. It's more than
he's a natural.
A pitch away. 1 ball, no strikes. I think, we've seen a few guys, including the bullpen guys. They look pretty good in those jackets, but it's just perfect for Todd. And he was.
It does.
He was involved in that process. We both ran into him as he was sifting through fabric samples, trying to figure out which one, and he was enlisting various opinions about that. There he is. Look at that.
Well done.
A man of many talents. It's popped up foul and out of play. 1 ball, 2 strikes. Shields with 3 strikeouts on the day. Walked 1 and allowed a couple hits. And he gets Moreland looking. And he backdoored him there with a cutter. So that's the first out. Let's check in with Todd Callis right now.
Yeah, we're going to get to a question about the shirts later on, but the Brazier look, getting used car salesman, kind of what Kevin was talking about. Lindsey Nelson tribute. Don Cherry. And we should be singing the Love Boat theme. And we're getting all these emails and questions from all around Europe and overseas, Sweden, Germany, England. A lot of people watching internationally. So, guys, the question has nothing to do with the jackets or the shirts. We'll have one on those later on. But they want to know, what's the deal with Davey Martinez? People are hearing rumors that he might be a manager somewhere next year, guys.
Yeah, here's Taylor Teagarden with the 1-0 count, fouling a pitch away. 1-1. Well, I believe, and so does Joe Madden, and for that matter, Andrew Friedman, both very high on Davey Martinez and the possibility that his future would include an opportunity to manage. And he had quietly been interviewed last year for another spot, and now, of course, he came up with the Cubs, and there's a lot of discussion over there that maybe Ryan Sandberg, who's been in their minor league system. Here's a 2-1 pitch, and that is hit deep and out of here. It hits the catwalk up there. And a 2-1 fastball to Teagarden. He smoked the fastball for a base hit in the 3rd and really smoked this one. Hits his 4th home run of the year to make it 2-1.
Yeah, see, he's doing the same thing. They're going in. Look at this, and it's right over the heart of the plate. It's not a good count to go in, and it's the wrong guy to do it to. I mentioned that last at bat, and he's now got 7 hits?
Yeah.
Against the Rays, and it's all on that kind of pitch. That's why he's the one guy circled in the lineup tonight to be careful of, because he's a guy you overlook because you look at the batting average.
Here's Arias. The pitch to him is a strike. Now, I mean, he just talk about putting a charge into a pitch. He did. Breaking ball. There's a strike. It's the 29th home run allowed by Shields, and he is tops in the major leagues in home runs allowed.
I mean, he's in my score. I circled him because I just had a feeling that would look past him a little bit.
And a fly ball lifted into left. 2 gone. So Teagarden hit one off the C ring. It's the 3rd one out from the middle in left center field.
Well, you know, there's getting back to Davey for a minute. There's a lot of jobs that are open this year.
Yeah.
And there might be a few more. This might be a banner year for managerial openings.
Yeah, before that home run, we were interrupted. A lot of talk about Sandberg maybe having the inside track for the Cubs job. But I'd have to think that Dave Martinez would get some serious consideration there as well.
Well, you Seattle already fired their manager. They're in an interim situation. That job's going to be open. Not sure about Arizona with Kirk Gibson, whether he retains that or not. Florida's got an interim manager. I mean, it could go on and on. Baltimore, of course, satisfied their situation with Buck Showalter, but Toronto, Cito Gas is retiring. Bobby Cox is retiring. In Atlanta, who knows about Joe Torre in L.A.? That could be open.
Ball out in front, breaking ball. It's 1-2. Yeah, there. I mean, you got to like a dozen in a hurry.
Quickly.
Yeah.
Yeah, off the top of my head. The Mets, that's in flux. I think they're going to clean house upstairs and downstairs there.
A foul ball. I mean, you'd hate to see Davey leave here. He's an asset to the Rays.
Oh, yeah, I like Davey very much.
He's a likable guy and very competent, but a guy who, if you had a club in search of a manager, you'd have to talk to him.
Absolutely. And it doesn't hurt that you've been with a successful club here the last few years. Winning background as a bench coach. A lot of times when they look for a new manager or a manager that hasn't managed in the big leagues before, they like to go to an organization that's now been winning to get some ideas, because usually the organization that's hiring and hasn't been winning lately.
Yeah.
Which is why they're going through so many changes.
Pitch is high and it's 2-2. Well, from the time he came up with the Cubs, he was a young player who was trying to learn as much as he could. We talked to a lot of the veterans about hitting and about different approaches. Ground ball back to first, and Zobrist is there. 1 run on the home run by Teagarden. We go to the bottom of the 5th. It's 2-1 Tampa Bay. To make it a 2-0 game. Shields ducks for the home run by Taylor Teagarden in the top of the 5th to make it 2-1. The Rays send the top of the order up in the bottom of the 5th. B.J. Upton to face Derek Holland. Pitch is upstairs. Upton, Bartlett, and Crawford due up here against the lefty. The pitch is fouled back. We're talking about Manny Ramirez and the possibility of him being traded. Well, the first, they're going to have to get him off the DL and through waivers, right?
Yes. And because it's past the non-waiver trade deadline July 31st, they could have actually traded him.
There's a drive, high and deep, and gone. Boy, Upton got a hold of that one. Home run number 11 for B.J. Upton.
Good to get that run back. And I tell you, this formula is really working. B.J. leading off against lefties. He got a hanger here, and he didn't miss it. Look at this. Hanging curveball right into his swing. Jumped all over it. Bell high, great extension.
Here's Bartlett. Pitch inside.
Yeah, with Manny Ramirez, he could have been traded while on the DL before the July 31st deadline. But now that we're in the waiver period where you have to clear waivers, he has to come off the DL before they can even put him on waivers.
Yeah, so that's it. He's got to come off the DL to clear waivers.
And
yeah.
I believe last I heard he's expected back soon. I can't tell if it's a few days or not, but I think it's pretty soon. This week sometime, perhaps. Okay, we got the report. Wednesday's going to start a rehab, which is today.
Yeah, there you go.
Well, after that long game last night, I'm not sure what day this is.
That's right. Yeah, but wearing these shirts just to revitalize us from the late night game and the early day game.
Well, there you go. So he's going to start a rehab tonight.
Yeah.
So technically, when he rejoins the big club,
pitch inside to Bartlett. Well, and here's the thing:
they can put him on waivers.
And I don't really know anything, but there were. Before the trading deadline, there were talks that the Rays had interest in him.
Well, I tell you what, I would still have interest in him.
Yeah, I think they would.
He's a difference maker.
I mean, I'm just guessing. I don't know anything.
I've seen plenty of him in L.A. He can still hit. It's been a strange year in L.A. period anyway with the ownership situation and all that. But he's still a presence, and I think you've got nothing to lose.
There's Carl Crawford. This ball popping away from Teagarden. Bartlett heads for second, and he's in there. Now the Rays have another man in scoring position. It's going to be a pass ball charge to Teagarden.
Take a look at this pitch. Trying to go inside it. The ball just cut on him. That was not intentional right there. And Teagarden didn't turn the glove over. He tried to backhand a ball that was cutting away from him, and he boxed it. The ball should have been caught.
Ogando is up in the bullpen.
Well,
pitch outside to Crawford.
Another point on Manny. I mean, he's not going to be back in L.A. next year. And we know his contract is upwards of around $20 million. But you're looking at a month and a half or 5 weeks of Manny. Whoever gets him, I don't even think though he clears the National League. Although I thought the Giants would claim it, but they're claiming everybody. They just got Jose Guillen, who homered yesterday, and of course Burrell's in his 11th home run. So I don't know if they have any more room to claim Manny, but they may. I just don't think he gets through the National League.
Crawford walks. So back-to-back walks after the home run. So runners at first and second. Evan Longoria will be the hitter, and Mike Maddox is on his way to the mound. The Texas pitching coach.
Well, Mike obviously is going out there to give his bullpen time, but he's not going out there to make a pitching change. Ron Washington does that. So he's going to face Evan Longoria. Holland is. Evan Longoria got a lot of pitches in. I've noticed tonight that Teagarden calls a lot of balls inside. They kept trying to pound him in, and that last one, you see that 7 there is the home run pitch. And that's in a hitter like Evans' wheelhouse. So I got to believe Mike Maddox saying, listen, there's nobody out, but let's stay away from middle in on Evan Longoria. Let's try to get the double play ball.
Yeah, Evans' bat is red hot.
Which would be a little sinker or something fading away from him. You don't want to come into a hitter's strength. It's just danger area, especially with 2 on.
First pitch to Longoria. And that's a strike. Fastball. Rays have Bartlett at second base and Crawford at first.
Well, a quick sign there. Teagard went out to let the infielders know if he's going to throw to third on a steal attempt or second. That's why he went out there.
This is the 100th pitch of the game. And the lefty Holland threw a breaking ball, but it stayed outside. 1-1. Here's the home run pitch.
3-2 pitch. He did not get it in enough. Shows you what you do with mistakes.
He shoots this one back into center field. Bourbon going back. That's got some carry. Off the wall. Bartlett's going to score. Crawford will be held at third. And into second, Longoria with a double. And the Rays get another run. Boy, is he hot. Longoria skied that one back to straightaway center field, scoring Bartlett.
Just another double for Evan Longoria, number 39, his second one today. Let's take a look at this pitch. Wow, right down the middle, up and away. When I say away, it's really the middle of the plate. It's not, away is down and away on a block of home plate. That's just a pitch right down the middle, and he hits it exactly where it was pitched, a straightaway center. Bourbon just looked up. I think Bourbon might have thought it was out, but he does play the carom as Bartlett scores.
How about this for a homestand? Longoria is 10 of 24 with 7 extra base hits and 7 runs batted in. That's a .412 average for the homestand. Infield in, and Carlos Pena misses the first pitch, strike 1.
And now you like to see a knockout punch here. Get 2 more. Nobody out here.
Carlos is grounded out and was called out on strikes in the 4th inning. Upstairs, 1-1.
Those breaking balls he's throwing, and you mentioned this in the break, even the breaking ball to BJ, I don't think the sequence was very good. He's got a very flat breaking ball, not a whole lot of bite on, at least today. I think you just play to the hitter's strength when you do that.
To foul back. Count is 1-2. Well, I think he did the Rays a favor when he threw that breaking ball to Upton. And BJ knew exactly what to do with that. He hit it well deep and out.
And one thing we got from some of the Ranger people today was about that he needs to throw his changeup more, and you can see why. He needs to throw that changeup against right-handed hitters, something fading away to neutralize the swing, because everything he throws to righties at least has come into their power.
And a foul ball. Now still 1-2. The Rays with a 2-run 5th inning so far. They've made it a 4-1 game and a chance for more.
Yeah, you really want to capitalize on this right here. At least get one more this inning, if not both runners out there.
And a swing and a miss. Pena missed the slider. That's the first out.
Yeah, this ball's not even a tight slider. It's up. Carlos just swings right through it.
And Ron Washington comes out to make a pitching change with Kelly Shopik due up. So the Rays have built a 4-1 lead, and we'll be back in a moment. schedule. Brought to you by Just for Men Hair Color. Rays wrapping up the homestand, and tomorrow night begin a road trip to the West Coast. 4 with Oakland and then 4 against the Angels in Anaheim. As we look forward to the approaching Rays schedule, you can live forward with Just for Men Hair Color. Alexi Ogando making his 26th appearance, 3-1, and that ERA at 1.01. Infield in with Kelly Shopik, the hitter. Swings through the fastball. 96, the first pitch from Ogando. That's what we saw here in the brief outing he had in Monday's game.
Right.
Relief of Cliff Lee.
He's got a good arm, and the contact play should be on right here.
The slider. A 96 fastball followed by the slider. Good luck.
Contact play should be on at home plate. I'd like to see Kelly put it in play. Nice slider, tight, little depth to it. But Crawford should be breaking from third because he's running a second and third one out on a ball hit the infield.
The slider, and he takes it low.
They'll force the defense here to make a play at home. Take a high chop or anything here. Get that 5th run in. Got to really shorten up.
And Kelly chased that one. Another slider and a big strikeout for Ogando. The runner still at second and third.
Well, that's just smart pitching. Stay away from his strength. See? Slider away off the outside corner. Not even close. Starts out of the ball off the outside corner in the other batter's box.
Ben Zobrist, first base open, are going to walk in. So Ben will pick up the second walk of the game, load the bases, and bring Sean Rodriguez up there. Leave Sean on deck. Third for the starter Holland. 6 hits off him, including the home run by Upton and a home run by Longoria. Now Rodriguez will be recalled, and Matt Joyce will come off the bench to pinch hit. Well, Sean had gone 1 for 2, made a great catch early in this game in right field on a ball hit by Ramon, and now Matt Joyce will pinch hit.
I like this counter right here with Matt Joyce, and people may wonder why didn't Jaso hit for Shopik there. Well, it's a little early to lose your only other catcher 5th inning. That's one reason. I think the other is I think Joe Madden likes the way Shopik's working today with James Shields overall through 5 innings. But why Joyce? Well, because Joyce can go into right field, and you still have Johnson, Jaso, and Ibar left on the bench.
Yeah, so, and if you use Jaso, they may walk him anyway.
They probably would have. Absolutely.
Set up a double play possibility.
I think that was very possible.
So now a hitter later.
It makes sense because now you got to throw strikes, and you got Matt Joyce with the bases loaded. So this is a good move by Joe Madden, I think.
Yeah, Joyce has shown that he's pretty good with the bases loaded. Yeah. Grand Slam home runs this year.
If you got a track record, put him up there. If it works, don't fix it. I mean, I know it's not the 6th inning yet, but we'll take it.
It's the 5th. It's close enough. And the fastball, check swing, foul ball.
Well, that'll wake you up in a hurry in a day game here, won't it? That 96 fastball coming off the bench here in the 5th.
misses that time with a fastball. 1-1.
Tell you what, the Rangers have found a pretty good arm right here.
Yes, they have.
They've made some good trades, period, the last few years. Vitali Felice is now their closer. He's got a similar arm. Matt, Reed reads the ball pretty well. That was not an easy pitch to lay off of when he's just seen 96, 97 on the first couple of pitches.
Two-one pitch. And he takes ball 3. Ogando now putting himself in a little more of a spot, 3-1. Ogando, as we mentioned the other night, is a converted outfielder. And that forces home a run. Crawford crosses the plate. Longoria to third, Zobrist to second, and Joyce picks up a run batted in.
That's a great at bat by Matt. He really was able to read the ball well. That's not easy to do when a guy's showing as hard as Ogando is. That ball was clearly down, but the other ones were tough to take. But he read the ball extremely well. Big run at the walk created right there, getting that 5th run.
5-1, and here's Reed Brignac. He lines up to the shortstop, Blanco. First pitch fastball, and Reed hit it on a line. That retires the side. Rays scored 3, Upton started it with a home run on a breaking ball, and the Rays lead 5-1. GMC dealers and by the AT&T. Find out what's possible with the nation's fastest 3G network. AT&T, rethink possible. Andres Blanco leads off the 6th. First pitch from James Shields is a strike. Shields through 5 innings has given up a run on 3 hits, 4 strikeouts and a walk. Foul. The Rays sent 9 men to the plate in the 5th inning. That's the 3rd straight game the Rays have done that. A 4-run 8th Monday night. Last night, 5-run 7th and a 3-run 5th in this game. 1 ball, 2 strikes.
Good try right there by James, mixing in that curveball again. just helps his fastball a little bit more when he throws a change and a curve. Gives the hitter something else to think about.
And it's still 1-2. Chopper back toward the middle, backhanded by Brignac, but no play. Blanco's aboard for the first time. Let's check in with Todd once again.
Well, Dwayne, we're down here just beyond the Rangers bullpen. You know it is the senior prom for senior citizens. We have a couple celebrating 67 years of marriage. Ed and Ellie Richards, that is outstanding. Tell us, how did you guys meet back in the day?
In the halls of a high school. She was going one way and I was going the other, and she smiled. That's the end of the story.
That's all you needed.
Right.
67 years of marriage. They met in high school, and big Rays fans, right?
Oh, yeah. Ever since day one.
And you guys were one of the originals that, even before there was baseball, right? You were interested in this team.
Before the Tropicana was built, we had to get a $100 deposit for each of us because we were going to get the Chicago White Sox. And when that fell through, then we had to keep our money in until it was finished building this. And
throw gets away from Zobrist on the pickoff attempt. The runner's going to advance all the way to third base with nobody out. Go ahead. So you got your money in, and now here you are, Rays fans, 13 years in.
yes.
And celebrating 67 years of marriage. Before I snuck in between them, they were literally right next to each other. So it's great to see. This is an amazing couple. Ed and Ellie Richards, thank you very much for joining us. Wave to the fans back home. They are on the prom court, and one of the best Rays fans you'll find, guys, back
Yeah, I was a little concerned to see him coming between a happy couple. That's not like Todd.
No, it's not.
But congratulations to them. 67 years of wedded bliss. Blanco's gone to third. The error charged to Shields. Hamilton missed the changeup. 0-2.
Not real sure what they were worried about throwing over to Blanco. Blanco has not stolen a base all season long. This is his 45th game, and they're down 4 runs, and he got Josh Hamilton at the plate.
And this one in the dirt. And Shopik dives after he found it. Could not come up with it quickly enough. And Blanco scores. So the Texas Rangers get a gift run on the base hit, the error, and now a wild pitch. And that makes it 5-2.
Kelly tried to get over there, didn't block it, and he popped up in the air. By the time it came down, it's too late. Nice effort, but good read by Blanco.
So Shopik and Shields take a little time to square things away after the Rangers pick up that run. So what was a 4-run lead is now 3.
I don't think that Blanco is going to run with nobody out and Josh Hamilton at the plate and a hole on the right side. So there's no need to throw over there twice. I want to let him know, hey, I know you're there. That's fine, but I think James is trying to get a quick pickoff out. But Blanco, if he got picked off, I think Ron Washington might have taken him out of the game.
Swing and a miss. Hamilton takes that one. So he's out on strikes. Good pitch here.
Well, it was excellent. Look at the movement on that. Not only down, but good tailing action away. So he's done a good job so far today on Josh Hamilton. He really has.
That's twice he's gotten them that way. And the first out in the 6th inning. Vladimir Guerrero about to step in. And he takes the fastball. 1-0. 5, 6, and 1 for the Rays with 7 left. 2, 4, and 0 with 3 left on for Texas. Ball 2, 2, and 0. Want to send along a big hello and a happy birthday wish tomorrow to a great Rays fan. The 2-0 pitch. Cut the miss. 2 and 1. Eva Mounier will be 105 tomorrow.
Wow. Awesome.
And so a happy early birthday. This one is down. She watches all the games, and she has to be a Rays fan because she's from Woonsocket, Rhode Island. So she's got the Rocco Baldelli connection.
Nice.
And has been here since the early 50s. And a big baseball fan. Low liner grabbed by Bartlett on the short hop, and his throw to first takes care of Guerrero. So 2 outs here on a hot shot.
Have we counted how many great plays today defensively? Sean Rodriguez was one. Longo was another on the bunt. And that one by Bartlett, we're due for a couple more.
Yeah, that's
easily.
3.
Yeah.
I mean, we say 3 to 5 every night, every day. The Rays have some sparkling defensive work on display. Murphy takes a curveball down and in. David Murphy up there. 1 ball, no strikes. A 2-0 count. Run home with 2 outs, bases empty. Now 3 balls, no strikes. Strike. 3 and 1. Fly ball lifted into left, and right there is Carl Crawford, who puts it away. That retires the side. We go to the home half of inning 6. 5-2 Tampa Bay. Johnny O on the right, Gary on the left, and they're part of our crew. They'll be heading west with us, and it's going to be a great look, that traveling party.
They're ready to go right now.
Here's B.J. Upton taking a pitch down to start the bottom of the 6th.
It is something that you really hate to take off. You can't really take those. You love those.
Yeah,
you
apparently
wear them as long as you can.
Mike Griffin, who's producing this game, has had it on all day, and they've attempted to have him take it off, but he won't. Base hit into left for Upton. B.J. has a base hit off Ogando. Tell you what, B.J. got around on a fastball right there. So his bat is really coming to life here in the middle of August.
It sure is. He hit a hanging breaking ball off of Holland for his 11th home run in the 5th. Led off the 5th, actually, and he a nice swing at that fastball off Ogando.
Jason Bartlett in the batter's box with B.J. at first. Pitch is a strike.
Tell you what, if Jason laid one down, Cantu would have no shot.
Yeah, he's really had trouble moving around third base.
And where he's
we
playing
saw last night, he's back.
Where he's playing, Cantu, the left side of your screen right there. Too deep, no shot. Want to get that run back too, get that 4-run lead. Get that grand slam lead. Keep putting pressure on the Rangers.
There goes Upton. The pitch is a ball, and the throw skips away. It one hopped in. So Upton has a steal, his second of the day, 35 for the year.
And Bartlett did a good thing there too. He looked to bunt as he took the pitch. Not a good throw by Teagarn that sailed on him.
And now Bartlett shortens and takes that pitch. That's a strike on the corner, says Jerry Meals. So it's 1-2.
Yeah, Joe wants to see execution there. That last 2 times, Jason was running up the bunt for a base hit, and had he gotten one down third base, I mean, there's no way Cantu had a chance if he made a good bunt, but now he's 1-2 and he can't do it.
And Bartlett is out on strikes. That's the first out. Carl Crawford's on his way to the plate. Hey, be sure and stop by your local Hess Express. While you're there, pick up the 210 race pocket schedule. It includes a $5 off coupon for a pair of lower level tickets to Rays games on Saturday nights. Now Carl Crawford. Foul right back into the screen. Strike one. Carl has scored 2 of the 5 runs for the Rays so far.
What a difference with BJ swinging and playing like he's playing now. It makes the offense so much different.
And a fastball in there, the upper reaches of the strike zone. 0-2.
His average up there now, it's at 244.
Yep. 3J.
Creep over that 250 mark.
We'll get BJ and Bartlett going.
Huge.
Could be great news for the Rays offense. The Rays got all 5 runs off the left-hander, Derek Collins. It's interesting because the Rays, you look at their right-handed lineup against lefties, and sometimes it tended to struggle, but, you know, in games which the opposition has started a left-hander, the Rays are 26-13.
Oh, they've done a great job, and they've seen enough of them, and they're going to see a couple of more in Oakland. They're used to that by now.
One ball, 2 strikes. Two. Back there by Ogando. And a foul ball, and that dislodges the mask from Teagard.
Came in about 97 miles an hour. When a guy fouls a ball, hits the ball, and comes back at you at over 100 miles an hour, right in your face. Right square off the mask. And even though you have a mask on, let me tell you, you feel that. That's ball really, when it's fouled, is only about a foot from the bat to your head. It hurts. Gives you a headache. Been there.
2-2. And an end, and now BJ's going to try to advance and will. BJ moves up as that ball in the dirt skipped away from Teagarden. That's going to be a wild pitch.
Pretty good jump by BJ off his second on this slider down in the dirt. Teagarden recovers. And BJ does get his feet in there. Pretty good recovery. By Teagarden, actually. Pretty good recovery. Made it closer than it should have been.
So it's a full count to Crawford, and the infield comes in now. Carl making contact, fouls it away.
Carl's looking for a 97 fastball, and he got about 80. What do you get? About 85 there. That's a tough pitch, and he was able to wait on it and foul it up. Actually, the slider was registered at 80.
3-2 and a high shot back into deep left center. That's going to get the run home. Ramon makes the catch, and Upton tags and scores. The Rays again have the 4-run lead. It's 6-2.
That's a very nice at bat by Carl, and the key was staying alive on that slider the previous pitch, just barely. We talked about him all week, how he finds a way to grind out at bats with 2 strikes and finds a way to get the job done.
There's Longoria. And a strike. Evan with 3 extra base hits today, 2 doubles, sandwiched around the home run. 1-1.
Really showing good bat speed today, too. It is really jumping off his bat quick.
One ball, 2 strikes. Instead with that breaking stuff. Fastball, at least mid-90s, and frequently a couple ticks beyond. And a wave and a miss. He got him with a slider. So the Rays are finished in the 6th. They settle for 1 and lead 6-2.
Afternoon, 6-2 Rays as we head to the 7th inning. Time to visit our Autoway text poll question of the day, brought to you by Autoway. If you need a car, truck, or van, who are you going to call? Call 1-800-SHOP-AUTOWAY. Who wears plaid the best on television? Which character, I guess, is the question, right? Ted Baxter, TV1. We've got Herb Tarlick, TV2. We've got Meg Brady, TV3. And we've got me, TV4. Text 789 and standard message and data rate supply. Guys, we told you some of the comments earlier about the Braziers, and we also have a viewer from Australia to add to those other countries we mentioned earlier. Cindy actually likes Dwayne's combo of the Brazier and the orange shirt. We're getting other guys saying the orange shirt looks like you've just left the state penitentiary. One guy actually wants one. Dave wants to know, he's aware that I end up picking out the shirts for you guys. He wants to know if Dwayne or Kevin were in charge of selecting the shirts, would orange ever be worn? Guys, back to you.
Yeah, it's amazing. You know, we have such great synchronicity with our crew that when Todd thinks of a color, I mean, we immediately said, you know, it's amazing because we were thinking the same thing.
Yeah. The answer, I have no orange in my wardrobe. None. I've never had an orange shirt in my life. So Todd thought I needed one.
There you are. Todd is helping both of us expand our horizons, and that's part of the positive influence that he is, not only with our broadcast crew, but in the game and in life itself.
Now I kind of did like the look with the blazer you had with the orange shirt.
And a wave and a miss. Cantu down on strikes on a changeup. Well, we said at the outset we were breaking all the rules here today, and I'm glad that we're holding true to that. You know what I think is just amazing. I'm not surprised, but Todd's hearing from Australia, England, Germany, all over Europe, and of course signing autographs there. The youngster is conferring with Todd on his attire now, and I think he's working on color coordinating the wardrobe for fans now, as well as the crew. One strike to count to Moreland.
He's got a side online business, I think, doesn't he?
He's a man of many talents.
He could mail order to Australia.
But it's I think it's really amazing that and not the first time that we've heard from Australia and from Europe, followers of Rays fans there. They've shown up here at the Trop. They've actually set their vacation so that they could spend time over on the beautiful beaches here, and they've set them around Rays homestands. So the Rays brand is becoming international. It's a foul ball into the upper deck down the third base side. 1-2 the count to Moreland. We're in the top half of inning 7.
Well, you know these blazers are going to be collector's items. I mean, these are going to be. This might be the new fashion.
It's foul, so the count 1-2.
You know, all the clubs might follow suit in baseball once they see everybody getting on the plane today with all these. You know?
Yeah, but the Rays were there first.
Yeah, well, they're
thinking outside the box.
That's right. Yep. Proactive.
Yep. Blazing new trails with the Braziers. Still 1-2 here to Mitch Moreland. Ground ball foul outside of first.
I think when everybody checks into the hotel tonight, that I think the people in the Bay Area, San Francisco Bay Area there with Oakland, they're going to think it's Olympic team or something, or some new reality TV show.
Pitch popped up third base side. Longoria digging hard, careful, and he just couldn't get there as he went sliding in. So the count is still 1 ball and 2 strikes. the right side. You know, it just occurred to me. This could be the Scottish plaid in honor of Bobby Thompson.
I like that.
Who just passed
now that's
away.
Nice.
And
Scottish Hall of Fame.
Yeah, it's
he made, by the way.
It's just one of those things that just naturally happen. Ground ball right side. Brignac with the pickup. That'll be 2 gone. Just a reminder to be on the lookout for the Miller Lite Taste Greatness moment later in the game today. And who's already having a great moment right there. A refreshing greatness moment. 2 outs in the top half of the 7th.
I like that a lot, as a matter of fact, you know, about Bobby Thompson.
Things work out that way.
Yeah, Bobby, you know, we listened to the interview yesterday that we had back in February, and that's one of the things he was very proud of, listening to the whole interview again.
Yes, he was.
Proud to be and honored that he was inducted into the Scottish Hall of Fame. At the time, he was the only Scottish ball player, Scottish-born ball player.
Inside, 1-1.
He was a nice man. I'm glad I got a chance to talk to him a few times over the years.
A ball, 2 strikes here to Teagarden, who belted the home run in the 5th inning, and then the Texas club scored another run in the 6th.
100 even and into the 7th. Almost through the 7th. He'd take that today. 6 2/3 solid inning so far.
It's fouled.
He's getting some off-speed pitches now.
Yes. And he smoked a couple fastballs and lined a base hit off a fastball into left center in the 3rd. And hit one out off the C-ring in the 5th inning. Two balls, 2 strikes.
I got the sense too, you know, we really didn't get into it much yesterday because the game strategy got going during the game. But didn't you get the sense listening to Bobby in that interview that he kind of did know it was coming?
Yeah, you know, and
or at least the location.
Sure, yeah. And you know, there are other quotes about that. You know, there's a pretty good idea that they knew what was coming. It's a foul ball, but I thought it was interesting that in some cases, you know, they had denied that. But he said in that interview, he said, well, I give myself credit for hitting that pitch.
Yes. Yeah.
Well, then it's one thing.
Yeah.
Those jack balls in the bullpen, even if you know what's coming, you still have to hit it out.
Yeah, that's the way I took it, that he kind of did know it was coming, but he hit it.
Down and away, a curveball right there, and the count is full. Interesting that he said that it probably was a ball.
Yeah, he did.
Up and in.
He sure did. And Branca said that he was trying to go in on him after throwing a strike right down the middle.
3-2 and a high fly ball back into deep center field. That came off a 3-2 fastball, and Hopkins all the way to the wall to make the catch on that one. 7th inning stretch. It's 6-2 Tampa Bay. Anderson has had a very good day today. He walked, stole a base in the third. Hit a curveball out of here in the fifth inning. And then lined a base hit into left in the sixth. Stole a base and scored another run. He scored 2 runs, driven in 1. There's the base hit. So with 2 runs scored and 2 steals, they give him 35 on the year. It's been a good day for Upton out of the leadoff spot. Bottom half of the 7th. See the numbers on Upton here the last couple games of this Texas series. Darren Oliver, the veteran left-hander's on the mound now to face Carlos Pena. Ball, no strikes. Oliver, pitcher number 3 for Texas.
Yeah, Darren went back home after having a couple of years with the Angels. Lives in the Metroplex.
And a strike. The Rays got 5 runs off Holland and 1 run off Oganda. Now face Oliver. Foul out of play, and it's 1-2. Rays with 6 runs, 7 hits, a couple of home runs. Carlos is out on strikes. Now the catcher, Kelly Shopping. You know, this run the Rays have had at home, we talked about their home record catching up after a slow start, 38-24 since the 1st of July. They have been as good as any other club, and actually better than any other club with their home record, winning 18 of their last 23 since the beginning of July.
Yeah, and the record against good clubs too. I mean, that's the Twins and Tigers especially. Came in at 8-3 homestand last time. That could have even been better as it turned out. Take 8-3 though.
1 ball, 2 strikes.
Should be a 5-1 homestand if they can finish this game off. Looking good so far.
Chad Qualls up in the Rays bullpen again. Rays have 7 innings from Shields. Foul ball, just enough to stay alive. Shields allowing a couple runs, gave up a home run. 7 good innings out of the Rays right-hander.
You know, all 3 guys you're looking at right there, Matt Garza, David Price, and James Shields, they all have done a nice job on Josh Hamilton, actually really neutralizing him in this series so far.
2-2.
Price kept him opposite field. Did get 1 base hit to the left side. Garza pitched him great. Struck him out with a good slider we talked about with what I thought was a turning point in the game. 2 on and 2 out, 3-0 lead. Struck him out.
Shopping, jam, pops it up, foul. That's going to carry out a play.
And then Dwayne today, Shields has struck him out twice.
Yep.
Got him to fly out to left field.
Use that changeup on him to get him on strikes. Well, regardless of how hard Shields may throw on occasion, that changeup is still his best pitch. And the curveball's not as bad as I think sometimes he might think. Well, can bat right there.
He's thrown some good curveball today. He's mixed that in a little bit more, at least than his last start.
I think he's got a good curveball.
I do too.
Well, the Rays will be hitting the road. Sonnenstein, Hellickson, Price, and Garza. The rotation in Oakland against the A's. Andy 3-1. He'll face Trevor Cahill tomorrow night. And then Jeremy Hellickson goes up against Ben Mazzaro. That's a fair ball. Is it? Yeah, delayed call. Shoppach is on his way to second. That ball back into the bullpen. Shoppach makes the turn and hangs on right there. He had an idea about going for 3, and Ron Washington is going to go out and have a little conversation with Mark Wegner, who made a delayed call, and then that ball caused the Rays bullpen to disperse. It's going to be a double for Shoppach.
Let's take a closer look right here. Mark Wegner, it's kind of right at Mark Wegner. I think it hit right on the line from that shot we had. Let's take a look at another angle. Yeah, that's a fair ball. I think it hit right on the line, didn't it?
I think so. And Washington getting a little more heated.
Well, at least from those 2 shots, it looked like it was on the line.
It's been a frustrating series for Washington anyway.
Now Ronnie's got a little different angle from the visiting dugout because he can see almost directly down the line. From what our angles were there, at least the 2 we showed, it's from more of like the third base side, or excuse me, the first base side.
Let's slow it down and take another look.
Right there. Well, let's take a look. See, if it's inconclusive too, even if they did replay, the umpires, if those are the angles that we have, the umpires would say the play stands. The play stands.
Yeah.
That's the worst that can happen. The play stands. That's true on boundary calls right now anyway too.
Shoppach gets a double out of that, just on the line. His 5th double of the year. His pitch to Zobrist is a strike. 1-1.
Well, Ron went out twice today, so if he had the flag, he couldn't do that.
No.
He went out once yesterday. He went out twice today, and he's 0 for 3.
And
the umpires
check, says Wegner.
By the way, are 3 for 3.
Yep.
I really understood why he went out yesterday, though, because when Molina hit that ball, I think Carl didn't know where it quite was either. Carl was leaping, and the ball was about 15 feet to his right as he had his back to us, trying to leap and make a catch, but he wasn't close to it.
2-2 the count to Zobrist as Oliver came in with a fastball that got it by him to square the count. He fouls that one. I thought Wegner was very good down there at first base. He let Ron Washington have his say, and Mark Wegner appeared to be very calm and let him say what he needed to say, and Washington saw his club drop the first game, and the Rays won big last night, 10-1. Now a full count is over, so there was some frustration in there as well by Ron Washington. But the other side of that, the Rangers start the day with an 8-game lead in their division.
Yeah, they're sitting good.
Zobrist fouls Another pitch out of play.
See that Mark Wegner that was at third base the other night? The first game, there was a ball line down the left field line. He got that one right, too. And Ron Washington went out and argued that one.
And ball four. Zobrist draws another walk. He walked 3 times today, including the intentional walk. That'll give him 71 walks this year. 2 on with 1 out for Matt Joyce. Matt came on to pinch hit in the 5th inning and walked with the bases loaded, forcing in a run. After a fastball up, strike 1. A 1-1 count. And Holland 4 to third. The starter gave up 5 runs. That's a strike. Ogando gave up 1 run in an inning and 2/3. And now Oliver in here. Two balls, 2 strikes. With the combination of the Rangers' injuries to their infield and some of the play we've seen, they signed Alex Cora to a minor league deal.
Well, he'll definitely help their defense when he gets called up.
Full count now to Matt Joyce. Expected to join their Oklahoma City club today.
Yeah, as good as this ball club is, their defense has been shoddy in this series, and they're 13th in fielding overall in the American League.
Line drive base hit into right field. Chopik's going to be waved around, and Guerrero's going to make the throw. It's cut off. Run scores. Zobrist goes to third. Joyce drives in his 2nd run of the game, and the Rays now have a 7-2 lead.
Darren Oliver, breaking ball very flat right there and up, and Matt Joyce jumps all over it. There's Kelly Chopik getting the secondary lead. He's trying to score all the way. Glad he makes a bad throw. Very wide of first base. Trying to hit the cutoff man. No chance.
First and third. Rays with a 5-run lead. Here's Reed Brignac. And a strike. Brignac hit the ball on a line, hit it hard in the 5th inning, but right at the shortstop Blanco. So Joyce with 2 runs batted in. Longoria has 3, Crawford 1, and Upton 1. Ball 2 strikes. One out of the inning with a run home. Rick Francisco, a right-hander, has been throwing in the Texas bullpen. The Rays have Upton on deck. One and 2. Rays have a high strikeout total again today. 12 men have gone down swinging, but they've also worked for 7 walks, and they have Worked the counts well again today. Brignac out on strikes there on a breaking pitch. So strikeout number 13 for Texas pitching.
Yeah, Reed just chasing a very bad pitch. You see him get way out in front and off balance. Fooled on that slider.
So Ron Washington slowly strolls to the mound. We're going to have a pitching change. Back in a moment. Jay Upton is due up here. Our checkers double of the game. Evan Longoria mounted a home run in the fourth inning. A leadoff homer, and then B.J. Upton hit one in the fifth. Braves have got 110 home runs as a team now. And Upton will be hitting with 2 outs and runners at first and second, facing Frank Francisco.
54th appearance for Francisco. At 15 holds since he's been in that setup role. Lost his closing job actually fairly early in the year to Neftali Feliz.
So Upton, after a first inning strikeout, has walked, homered, and singled. It hits a ground ball to short. Picked up by Blanco, and the throw to first in time to retire the side. Rays pick up a run. Strand 2, and after 7-2 Tampa Bay. Today's Miller Lite tastes great in this moment. Actually, defensively, the Rays with 3 great moments. Sean Rodriguez made his 3rd start of the year in right field, made a great play in the 3rd. Evan Longoria again, Kevin, and then the Rays shortstop, Jason Bartlett. More defensive excellence.
3 great plays. We're probably due for a couple of more. 6 outs to play.
Jack Qualls takes over on the hill for the Rays, and the first pitch to Joaquin Arias, and that's a strike. It's a tap foul, 1-1. A little over 19,413 here today. Qualls makes his 8th appearance for the Rays. It's a little soft base hit. Soft liner into right. Arias is aboard. Let's check in with Todd again. Todd?
More people watching us from across the Atlantic. We had a couple who was here earlier at the Trop watching us from England. We also add the Netherlands to our list of countries watching us. And the Mitchell family from Scotland said, you know, over here we would call those jackets tartan jackets instead of plaid jackets. And they were also at the Trop earlier this year watching Rays baseball. Now, our next question comes from Dave. Simple enough. He wants to know, in the first round of the playoffs, how do teams get matched up? Guys, back to you.
All righty. Thank you. The top of the order, Julio Bobon, and the pitch is a strike. Arias at first. Well, I'm glad to know that what we're wearing are tartans. Yeah.
Nice.
And I still think that that's just a nice coincidence there that the Rays could be wearing those in honor of Bobby Thompson.
I agree.
1-1. Bourbon at the plate with Arias at first. The pitch inside, 2-1. Well, that playoff breakout, Kevin. Right now, actually, as it stands, I guess the Rays would be playing Texas. Let's take a look at the win percentage. Minnesota, no, actually. If the Rays would, well, we're tied for first right now, so it's hard to determine.
Right.
But the Rays actually have the advantage in the season series over New York. So, I guess technically you could say they could be in first.
Well, first of all, you can't play your own division for the wild card.
Well, that ball rifled up the right field side back into the corner. Joyce is going to play it out. And they're going to put the stop sign up for Arias, and Bourbon almost ran him down and gets back into second base. So Arias stopped at third, and all of a sudden, as Dave Anderson put up the stop sign, he saw Bourbon come barreling toward third, but he got back into second.
Well, Bartlett was lined up toward third. That's a sure double with a runner at first base. So you line up toward home initially with your cutoff men, but Bartlett has to be in between. He's not involved in that part of it, so he wasn't standing at second base. So even though Bourbon grounded hard, you see Bartlett's in the middle of the infield as he should be, and that enabled Bourbon to get back into second base.
So now it's Blanco. Taps it foul. That's a strike. So you can't play inside your division.
No.
You know, so if whoever comes out of the East, you figure it's going to be the winner and then the wild card guy.
Yeah. Well, let's say the Rays win the division. I think that's the good way to look at it. They're going to play the worst record of the other two divisions. So right now, it would be Texas.
If they win it, it would be Texas.
Yep.
Right?
As of right now, it would be the best of 5.
The wild card coming out of the East would play Minnesota.
Correct. As it stands right now, Texas is 67 and 51. That's a .568 percentage. Minnesota is at 69 and 50. That's a .580 percentage. So either way, it's Texas or Minnesota, depending on if the Rays win the division or they finish second and win the wild card. They're going to win one of them.
No ground ball to second. That's going to score Arias. That makes it 7-3. Blanco picks up the RBI, and Bourbon goes to third. So essentially, if you win the division, you're going to play the worst record of everybody else. And if you win the wild card, you're not going to play inside your division, so you go out of your division, and you're going to play the team with the better winning percentage out of those other two divisions.
Correct. Yep.
Well, the Rays going to make a pitching change. We'll be back in just a moment. Coming up Friday the 27th at Friday Fest, presented by Captain Morgan. The Rays take on the Red Sox, and the first 10,000 ladies receive a Matt Garza collectible T-shirt presented by the St. Petersburg Times. Visit RaysBaseball.com to get your tickets. Randy Choate, the new pitcher. Josh Hamilton at the plate. Pitch inside. Hamilton against Shields was 0 for 3, a couple of strikeouts. And now Choate matches up against the left-handed bat of Hamilton.
Just as you've said all week, it's every day for Randy, just about.
That's it. And a broken bat ground ball to third. Longoria throws to first out there. Bourbon scores. So now it's 7-4. Hamilton breaks the bat. Gets credit for a run batted in.
Yeah, that's a huge out, and Joe Madden will make another change. He gets his man right here. Josh puts it in play, but you'll take that out for a run in this game. Josh Hamilton at the plate. 4 outs to go.
So Choate faces the left-handed bat, and we'll be back with a new pitcher in a moment. Guerrero faces Joaquin Benoit. The pitch is in there. That's a strike.
I'm glad he got a little slide ball right there. Joaquin, 60 punch outs and 7 walks. 136 batting average against.
Comes in on Guerrero, who pops it foul. Fastball in, 0-2. Shields 7, Qualls a third, Choate a third. And now it's Benoit. Still 2 strikes. Yankees home tonight against Detroit. That's Bonderman and Mosley, the pitching matchup. Rays will be headed west immediately following this game. Fastball by Guerrero for the strikeout. We go to the bottom of the 8th. It's 7-4 Tampa Bay. Brought to you by Autoway. Who is your favorite TV personality in plaid or tartan, as the case may be? Ted Baxter, Herb Tarlick, Mike Grady, or our very own Todd Callis. Text your vote to 789-789. Standard message and data rates apply.
I think my mom won a washer dryer from that guy on the right.
I think so. And then Johnny O is following the trend set by Todd Callis. And Gary Nicholas on the left there.
There's Gary Nicholas.
He's a renegade.
Now, why did Gary take his jacket off?
I know. I mean, he's just not a team guy.
He just got telestrated.
Yeah. Gary will be headed west with us. He'll be directing those shows out there. Jason Bartlett faces Scott Feldman. 1-0 the count. Feldman is pitcher number 5 for Ron Washington. And a one-hopper deep short picked up by Blanco, and he airmails that one. One hops it into the stands. Now Blanco uncorks that throw after the pickup deep at shortstop, and Bartlett will wind up at second on a base hit and an error.
Yeah, I think Bartlett definitely would have beat this anyway. Bare hands the pickup. Deep short right there, and just, you're right. Airmails that one. Didn't really get a great grip on it. He really had no chance. And Bartlett will take it. Second base, nobody out.
Here's Carl Crawford, pitch down and in. You know, that's the first error of the series charged to Texas, and it goes to show you how, if you just look at it on paper, it's how difficult it is to quantify defense, whether it's good or bad. And Ron Washington's not happy with his team's defense in this whole series, and yet they've been charged with only one error. And there goes Bartlett, safely in at third.
That hit him somewhere.
He is down, face down here. Let's hope he's okay.
But didn't get him. It looked like it might have got him in the head.
As Bartlett steals third base here. And maybe he's just shaken. Let's hope that take another look and watch for the collision here. Going in head first.
Oh, his head hits the left shin of Jorge Cantu. That's a tough blow right there. Not the ball that hit him. The ball skips past Cantu. This snaps his head back, hitting that left leg, planted him, Jorge Cantu.
I'll tell you, that's 2 days in a row. You know, he had that collision with Blanco, who was playing second in last night's game. And collision with Cantu's leg, this left shin, this afternoon.
And the reason that this is nothing to fool around with, I think of Justin Morneau, who the Minnesota Twins, and his was on a collision, not hit by a pitch. He's still going through concussion problems, Justin Morneau. It's been 41 days for him. You hope it's nothing like that. It looks like he's going to be okay. Stay in there.
Yeah, you started to see a little relief on Tom Foley's face. Was the first thing I saw when he realized that maybe Jason was going to be all right. But boy, that's something to be concerned about, at least initially.
I think Justin Morneau was a knee to the head also. A base running play.
Infield in, and Crawford takes the pitch inside. 3 balls, no strikes. Feldman was a 17-game winner last year for Texas, primarily on the strength of a very good sinker, and that pitch has not been a big part of his game this year.
That's amazing. The year he had last year, and he pitched extremely well on the road. This year, look at that ERA, almost 5.5. A lot of walks related to the strikeouts, and .311 batting average.
The ground ball to Blanco has it. The throw to first. Holding at third, Bartlett. Crawford made contact, but right at Blanco, and the infield pulled up.
Every manager would like to get into and then out of Grand Slam range. That's why that run out there is an important one, and Jason Bartlett stole third base for that reason, to get one of those runs back, make it a 4-run lead.
And a fly ball into right field by Longoria, caught by Guerrero, and his long throw is over everybody, and he one-hops that one into the stand. Bartlett scores, and the Rays get the run back. That's going to make it a 4-run advantage, 8-4. Sacrifice fly, and the 4th run batted into the game for Longoria.
Well, again, there'll be no error on this, but this is a throw that just has no chance. Now look at Teagarden, he's a pretty big guy, and you thought initially it wasn't hit really that deep. You thought, with Vladdy's arm, even at this age, if he makes a good throw, it's going to be close. But you're right, you made a very good point. Only one error in this series for Texas, but they have played very, very sloppy defense in these 3 games. And showed lack of range, lack of communication out there.
Pena takes a curveball for a strike.
Well, the Cliff Lee game, the first night, that was definitely the defense. And then the Rays took advantage by having some clutch hits, but the defense opened up the inning for Tampa Bay.
1 ball, 1 strike.
And on the other side, as we say night in and night out, the defense, especially early on Friday night for David Price, kept the game before Lee could get a lead.
Sure did. 1 ball, 2 strikes. And as far as that's concerned, you know, the start that Hellickson made, the start on Sunday against the Orioles, the first couple innings really helped him, and they settled in a little bit, but the Rays made some great defensive plays in that game.
You know, this is Wednesday. What did I say? Friday night? Feels like a Sunday.
I know, doesn't it?
Monday night was the Cliff Lee game, right?
Yeah. I was just checking to make sure.
Where are we? What day is it? Yeah, Monday night was the Cliff Lee game, and Ben Zobrist threw a strike to home plate to get a big out.
3-2 the count to Pena.
Helped David Price in that game.
Well, Longoria's up to 80 runs batted in now. He's had 8 in this series. Pena walks. 2-out walk. Get Kelly Shopping to the plate.
There's no question for Texas. You just saw a shot of Ian Kinsler and Cliff Lee. With Ian Kinsler out of the lineup and Nelson Cruz and Michael Young, they're definitely a different ball club. They're not the same offensive club. And with Vladdy scuffling right now, not catching up with fastballs, Vladdy Guerrero, they just don't have the same punch.
Shopping takes the ball. Really doubled and scored in the 7th inning. One and one. Balls and a strike. Feldman, 27 years old. Well, 3-1. You know, those 17 wins Feldman had last year were the most the Rangers had gotten out of a right-hander since Aaron Seeley won 18 in 1999. Foul ball. Count is full.
Yeah, I think they counted on Feldman to be right at the top of the rotation and signed Rich Harden, and that hasn't worked out. I mean, they were forced to go out and get Cliff Lee. That's something that Nolan Ryan talked about well before the deadline, that they were going to be able to and try to go out and get a #1 starter. John Daniels, the general manager, said the same thing. It was no secret.
And a little ground ball headed to short, charged by Blanco. Musto to first in time, and the Rays are out in the 8th. They pick up a run. On to the 9th, 8-4 Tampa Bay. homestand. Lance Cormier enters the game. Benoit worked a third of an inning, and now Lance Cormier's on for the 43rd time.
Yeah, non-save situation, at least right now, with a 4-run lead. So Lance is in there. So Soriano will be in the wings.
David Murphy, the left-handed hitting outfielder, takes the pitch down. Shields for 7. Walls, Choate, and Benoit each a third of an inning. Cormier throws a strike. It's 1-1. Doing one. Balls and a strike. Cormier worked a third of an inning in Monday's game and picked up the win. There's a strike. 3-2. He walked Murphy in that outing and then got Brandon Boggs on a ground ball. Rays proceeded to score 4 in the bottom of the 8th inning. Won 6-4. And he walks him again here today. So Murphy goes to first to open the ninth. Just a quick check. I think that's only the second walk by Rays pitching today, and Murphy has both of them.
Yeah, you're right. You're absolutely right.
It's Jorge Cantu.
One more base runner, and it's going to be Soriano. I mean, Joe Madden can't afford to have this blown, so Cormier's got to throw strikes here. But, you know, you're a 2-run home run away from just a 2-run lead, and Soriano in the game, so got to work ahead of the count.
Pitch is down to Cantu. And Soriano's busy down there in the right field bullpen.
To me, that's the problem sometimes because it's not a non-save situation. You know, a guy like Cormier doesn't expect to be in the game probably all day. And all of a sudden, because it's a 4-run lead, he's got to get up when Soriano was already ready. And I certainly understand a lot of managers feel, and closers will tell you too, you know, it's not a safe situation. I'm not the same guy, but you got to be careful with that sometimes too, for this very reason.
Blocked by Shopping. 2 balls and a strike.
Because now if and when Soriano does come in, he's going to have men on base.
Soriano saved the game here in the first game of the series. It's fouled out of play. And it's a 2-2 count.
It's amazing how stats have dictated how we run games now. You know, where years ago it didn't really matter. You put your best guy out there to get the win.
Yep. And ball 3. Cantu would not offer at that pitch. Well, a big pitch right here, as it turns out.
Yeah.
Leadoff walk and a 3-2 count on Cantu.
It absolutely is.
And a chopper to short. Bartlett. Brignac 1. First base. That's a little wide and gets away. Cantu's going to move into second base and make the turn and hold. Joyce comes in to make the pickup. So the Rays get the first out as Murphy is forced at second. Bartlett to Brignac. But the ball got away from Zobrist. It's going to be an error charge to Brignac on the throw to Zobrist.
Yeah, that's a That's a play that the Rays normally turn and make, and Ben came across the bag and actually threw off balance. Or Brignac did, excuse me. And the ball was a little bit wide of the bag. Keeps the inning alive. Otherwise, you get 2 outs, and it looks a lot better. Soriano can relax down there in the bullpen.
So it's a fielder's choice and an error. The Rays commit their second error of the game. Mitch Moreland. Pitch outside. Jim Hickey's going to head to the mound now.
Reed normally turns the double play extremely well. I think he got caught trying to come across the bag and not get hit by Murphy in a 4-run game here. There's the turn right there. Let's take a look at Ben. Yeah, it's just off the tip of the glove. Maybe he could have stretched toward the line, but still, you got to make a better throw than that. If Ben gets caught and stretching toward the line to get that ball, he might get his left arm taken off. You know, hyperextension. Sure. So all the way around, just wasn't a good play. Wasn't a good throw. And we don't say that often about Reed. He's been outstanding over there at second.
1-0 the count to Moreland. Fastball in for a strike. Moreland twice has bounced to second, and in between he was called out on strikes. And a high shot back into right field. That ball's well hit and will get out of here. A fastball, and Moreland has belted a 2-run home run. That's going to make it 8-6. His second home run. And so that's going to be it now for Cormier. So Joe Madden comes out to make the pitching change in what is now a 2-run game. We'll be back with Soriano in a moment.
Save situation. Instead of 4-run lead with Soriano on the mound, he's got a 2-run lead and 2 outs to get.
He faces the catcher, Taylor Teagarden, and the first pitch is a strike.
That's the only danger, Dwayne, of doing that, of saying, okay, now that we got the extra run and it's a non-save situation as far as the stats tell you, I'll sit my best guy down and I'll bring in my long guy.
And a foul ball. Teagarden Teed off on a fastball back in the 5th inning. Hit one out of here off James Shields. Shields gave up 2 runs, 1 earned, and that's the earned run. Hit it off the C ring. 2 strikes to count to him right now. Upstairs. 1 ball, 2 strikes.
Tell you what, some of the pitches he's taken today too. He doesn't look like a 130 hitter, does he?
He doesn't.
Coming in. Even with Shields, I mean, he laid off some breaking balls in his 3rd at bat. Quality pitch here.
And it's popped up. Back foul and out of play. Count holds at 1 ball, 2 strikes. Strikeouts in the inning he worked on Monday night. And he strikes out Teegarden. Threw him a slider to get him. Out number 2.
And he threw him a great 2-strike pitch right there, and Chopik blocked it. That's good thinking right there. He's been getting too many fastballs all day long. He got a slider in the dirt and he got a chase out of it. Good pitch. Big out. That looked like a 130 hitter there.
There you are. Well, Keaton Arias.
I think he's got some ability. I think there's some upside for him, really. Teegarden.
Strike on the outside part of the plate. He's trying to end it right here. Going to sweep the Texas Rangers. Foul. Taken out of play on 2. The Rays dropped 2 out of 3 to the Rangers in Texas earlier. Now they're an out away from sweeping them here at Tropicana Field. Here it is. And a fly ball into right. Matt Joyce back there for it. Makes the catch and the Rays win it. It's an 8-6 final. The Rays take 3 from the Texas Rangers. And for the time being, move into first place up by a half game over the New York Yankees. Shields will get the win here today. Soriano will pick up a save. And the Rays with a record of 74-46. Half game up on New York. The Yankees right now 73-46. So the Rays come away with a victory here this afternoon and finish the homestand 5-1. They finish off the season series with the Texas Rangers winning 4 and losing 2. Top part of the order very big for the Rays in this series and in this game. And Evan Longoria had a very big day as Shields evens his record at 11-11.
Yeah, James came back and pitched a really good game in the offense. I thought with BJ at the top really getting the bat going, and Jason Bartlett doing a good job, and then Crawford and Longoria on fire in this series. That was huge.
So a big victory for the Rays, 8-6 over Texas. Let's go to the field and Todd Callis.
Dwayne, thank you very much. Evan, what a series for you and the team. 8 RBIs and a sweep against a very good team. You guys, the offense looks like it's rolling a little bit finally, huh?
Yeah, I mean, it's picking up at the right time. I mean, this was a huge home series for us, a huge home stretch, and if we want to keep contending and win this division, we're going to have to win at home. And we got off to a good start here in August, and we'll try to roll into Oakland and LA and do the same thing.
This is the first time, you mentioned winning at home, since the first road trip of the year, where now your record at home is better than the road. Lately, it just seems like the comforts of Tropicana Field are showing, which may not have showed the first few months.
Yeah, I mean, we're starting to get better crowds. You know, I think we're comfortable here. We play well as a team here. We're really using the home field advantage to our advantage, I think. And again, that's going to be the key for us down the stretch is winning here at home.
Tell us anything you're doing differently. Is it organizing the strike zone better? What's going on? I mean, you seem locked in the last couple.
I got Los back in the lineup. That helps a lot. I mean, whether he goes 4 for 4 or 0 for 4, I mean, just his presence in the lineup alone is enough to get me some better pitches. And I think just having that comfort of him behind me, this really helps me out.
That's a great point, and I was going to ask you about that. Even if the average is what it is, just his threat, being able to take the ball 450 feet, that makes a difference for you when he's back in there. Huh?
It definitely does. I mean, he's another threat that the other team has to prepare for, and maybe when they don't have to get that lefty loose, now they do to really prepare for him. So it makes it tougher for pitching coaches and pitchers to navigate the lineup with him in it.
You're heading back to your home state. I know you always look forward to that. Anaheim, the second part of the trip. You're rocking a little plaid going back up.
Yeah, we're excited about it. I mean, I'm always excited to go to the West Coast, so I think the Brazers should be a big hit.
All right, Lago, thanks.
All right, thanks.
Evan Longoria, guys. What a game, what a series. Back to you as the Rays sweep.
Yeah, Evan was a big hit today, driving in 4 and leading the Rays to this victory. 8-6 the final, and so the Rays will hit the road coming off a very successful homestand. We'll be back to wrap it in a moment.